on today's video, we're gonna talk about duck feet. Yeah, I've been getting this question asked a lot. What causes this continuous outward rotation of the feet every time we walk? All right, stay tuned. All right, guys, so Denise here, and thanks for tuning in again on Life Cycle 360. Today I want to talk to you about duck foot or duck feet. Having that, what does it mean? Can it be helped? Can we do something to correct the problem? And how does the problem, where does it come from? So I've been asked to do a video such as this to help persons to identify with this compensation, that's movement pattern that we see persons with. And the thing is, when we see persons having duck foot or walking with externally rotated feet that we identify, and it's called quote unquote duck feet, it's really more than just the foot being the problem, but it's really where you have to look at that whole upstream of joints. And I like to go from the ankle looking at the knee, but in today's video I'm going to be focusing on the hip joint. And why I'm looking at the hip joint, because most of the times the externally rotated foot, there's one culprit that is known for that, and that is when there's an imbalance in those hip external rotators and the internal rotators. So think about it. If you have the foot that is outward, most of the times there's going to be some weak muscles that's not keeping that foot in a nice, neutral and balanced way, and you'll have some tight muscles that it's keeping it outward, right? So that's why I'm looking at the hip joint, and I'm going to be focusing today on the glute medius, because most times when persons do a check to see if there's any compensation or there's weakness or imbalances, such as you could sit on a table and just try moving the foot to the left and the right, you could actually see there's a difference where if you're having the foot going one direction, which is to the externally rotating side, and you try putting the foot back to the other direction, you'll notice that one side, it's much easier and looser, and the other side there's difficulty, which is usually the internal hip rotators or the glute medius that is very weak, and it's not able to get that movement with internal rotation to taking place. Now, I'm not saying that's the only reason, but in this video I want to focus on that and how we can, first of all, kind of, if those external rotators or that glute max is pretty tight, because the glute max is going to be part of what you'll have being the culprit for keeping the feet externally rotated, and also you'll have that the external rotators in the hip itself, which lies a little deeper and underneath the glute, and one in particular, that piriformis muscle. Once we start getting those muscles which are really tight and we loosen it out, we can now work on strengthening the glute medius. So we can do the strengthening of the glute medius with these exercises I'm going to show you here now. And we can also relax the muscle of the glutes and the external rotators. We can relax it by some simple self-myofascial release. So I'm going to show you how we can do that now with these simple corrective exercises. I hope this helps. Let's go. So we're gonna start with some self-myofascial release of that glute muscle, and I'm using a foam roller. You also can use a tennis ball if it's the first time you're doing this, because that's a little easier. And I also have a lacrosse ball that I'm gonna use as well to go a little deeper into the muscle and get lower into the deeper muscles of those hip external rotators. So you just move around a little bit on that. And if you have a foam roller, spend about a minute or two just moving around where you feel that you're getting that muscle loose a little bit. This is going to be your first corrective exercise where we're working on the hip internal rotation and the glute medius that is responsible for that muscle with this movement here. If you have a band, just put one foot in front of the other, and what you're doing is moving from the hip outwardly. The next exercise that you can do is just, if you have a foam roller, which like this is fine, I think this is perfect if you have anything cylindrical in that nature. And what you're doing from here is just trying to get the same movement that when I was on the table, when I saw that I had limitation on with my internal rotation. You could do about 10 to 12 reps there. All right, guys, so that is pretty much it when it comes to dealing with that glute medius. And if you need to work on your internal rotation, which could be because of your duck feet, one of the cause. Now, we also have to look at the foot, and we have to work on those muscles that have become very weak and need to be strengthened, and getting you to be more aware of your way that you place your foot when you're walking, and also strengthen up that ankle as well. So that will be another video that I will be covering soon. I hope you guys like this. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for the next video every Tuesdays and Fridays at 6 p.m. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for viewing. All right, bye.